Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is Homeland Security and the Patriot Act, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about some of the developments since the attack on America, Dr. MMcDonald, a political scientist at Tennessee State University. And of course, Dr. McDonald, let me welcome you to the show and tell you how delighted we are to have you here this morning.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, Dr. Haney.
Well, you know, we've had you on a number of occasions, and each time you bring us some very, very important and excellent information. I think the last time we talked with you on this show, we dealt with College Life 101, right. And I think originally we thought that it would probably be the kind of thing that certainly only a small segment of the population might be interested in, but we're finding that there's a widespread understanding and a widespread need for what you're doing here. And so we just wanted to say that in reference, because that's what we've heard dealing with it. But Dr. McDonald, before we get started today, there might be some individuals who might not know that at one time you was the president of the student body, for example, at Middle Tennessee State University and other kinds of activities you've been involved with. Let's give you an opportunity to talk about your background, your education, and some of the other things that were important before we get into the Homeland Security and the Patriot Act as a result of the attack on America.
Sure. Again, Dr. Haney, I want to thank you for having me on your show again, and it's always an honor and privilege to be here. I was born in New York. I finished high school in Huntsville, Alabama. As you indicated, I went to Middle Tennessee State University, where I received my associate in arts and law enforcement and my Bachelor of Science in political science pre-law, and I received a fellowship to earn my Master's in Public Administration and Public Policy from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, whereas during graduate school I interned with the Illinois General Assembly and also had a fellowship to work in the Office of the Governor in Springfield, Illinois. And completing my master's program, I went on to law school on a Thurgood Marshall Clio Fellowship and attended John Marshall Law School in Chicago and finished there in '87, upon which time I returned back to the Mid-State and worked in the office of the mayor for a couple years. Also worked for the state, and then had the opportunity to serve as administrator or commissioner of elections for Nashville-Davidson County for roughly 12 years. And since that time, I've had an opportunity to work as a member of the faculty at Tennessee State University in the Department of Political Science, and I've also taught adjunct for MTSU and also the University of Tennessee. So, you know, this is home for me, and it's a pleasure, again, to serve the people again in this capacity as a member of the faculty at the university.
You know, Dr. McDonald, when we talk about Homeland Security and the Patriot Act, very, very few people who post-2000 would not really understand exactly what we're talking about. That is, if you were to come back in 2000, you wouldn't understand what this Homeland Security and this Patriot Act is all about. But let's do it in the sense of not only informing them what this act is all about, but let's look at one of the primary motives for this act, and that is the attack on America. From a political science point of view, the kind of information that you give to your students and others dealing with this as a subject, let's talk about the attack on America.
Well, when we talk about, quote, the attack on America, I think we have to go back even further than 9/11. People probably remember that actually the attack on the World Trade Center in 2001 wasn't the first time. There actually was an attack on the World Trade Center in the early 1990s. In addition, there have been other acts of terrorism that have been visited upon the United States prior to 9/11. The one that's probably more infamous for people is, of course, with the attack on Pearl Harbor. Clearly was viewed as being an attack in terms of a terrorist activity, one where the United States had not been a party to any type of war, any type of conflict, but did draw the United States into World War II, which was kind of the outcome of what occurred in 9/11. After that event, we were drawn into a military conflict in the Middle East. When we talk about terrorism and we talk about Homeland Security, we're really talking about what responsibility and what is the role of the national government when it comes to protecting its citizens. The idea that as members and citizens of the United States, we actually have dual citizenship. One of those roles is dual citizenship is in terms of being citizens of a particular state. In addition, we have our citizenship as members of the United States of America. And so it's a responsibility of the national government to try to provide security for its people. And that's when we talk about Homeland Security and talk about the Patriot Act, that's really what was in mind.
Very good. And of course, we're getting ready, Dr. McDonald, for this first commercial break. After we come back, we'll have you to get into the movement itself, that is the Homeland Security movement. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The show for today